Thank you so much for coming. Really, really appreciate it. The notice I really want to give to you guys tonight is I want to make sure everyone's cell phones are off. You're allowed to take pictures, but also please turn the ringer off. There's nothing worse than being in something like this, having a ringer. It's the only thing worse is when someone answers it. So if you do get a phone call you need to take, bathrooms are in the hallway. There's also a door here. There's exits this way too. We are very full, so just be careful. You guys are going to have a great, great afternoon. Thank you all so much. Thank you to TC for planning this great event. And I'll let you take it.
Thank you for accepting.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you all so much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
So anyway, thank you all for coming. Doubling up on that, I really appreciate it.
Oh, no.
You're in for a real treat. So I'm going to read from a script because I'm not a professional speaker. So bear with me. I want to tell you about Sandra Celli. She's a renowned crystal couture designer and popular TV personality who's had her designs featured in newspapers, magazines like Vogue, Town and Country, and Modern Bride. Her more over-the-top designs can be seen on TV in TLC's international hit series, My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding, which is still airing in over 90 countries worldwide. Sandra's innovative and eye-catching works are embellished with sparkling precision-cut stones, no matter the occasion or the celebration. Sandra's designs are certifiable showstoppers. As she likes to say, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that bling. And this afternoon, it's all about the bling. So we'd like to start with a short clip from Sandra's premiere TLC series called Bling It On, highlighting her mind-blowing creativity and her wide variety of clients.
But I love working for drag queens because they love tons of detail, crystals, feathers, and all the things that I love to work with, and they give me complete freedom.
Wolf dressmaker Sandra Celli talking about designing for a drag queen on her new...
Sorry, technical difficulty. That's all right.
But I love working for drag queens because they love tons of detail, crystals, feathers.
We've all had these before. Turn up.
Yeah, give me a house.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Here we go.
But I love working for drag queens because they love tons of detail, crystals, feathers, and all the things that I love to work with, and they give me complete freedom.
Wolf dressmaker Sandra Celli talking about designing for a drag queen on her new reality series, Bling It On. In a 3-episode run, Movie Street's Queen of Bling dresses some quirky ballroom dancers, a 7-year-old girl, and an up-and-coming singer, often pushing her and her team to the limit. Earlier this year, Sandy was thrown into the reality TV spotlight with My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding. The show featured her outrageous creations for American gypsy teens in the South. TLC liked the fearless dressmaker so much they gave her her own show, premiering Thursday, September 20th at 10 p.m.
And I just hit the floor. In my wildest dreams, I never thought I would be this big a part of that show.
Like the Gypsy series, Bling It On explores a last-minute world in which dress dreams come true. But now the focus is on some demanding Boston area clients and on Sandy's range as a designer.
I haven't done steampunk before, you know.
It's fitting that one of her clients orders a leather steampunk costume. A yearly festival has made the area around Sandy's shop a destination for steampunks everywhere. In episode 3, Sandy dresses Waltham's original Queen of Bling and one of her biggest inspirations, her mom Yolanda.
I was raised with rhinestones on my cereal. She needs to be on this show.
It's just a fun thing to have, especially at a cocktail party.
Ever the perfectionist, Sandy created a massive ring, glitter and heels, and a magnificent hat to complete the outfit.
Coming, it looks fantastic, but going is equally as fantastic. The children's wear to teenage girls to proms, and pensiero events, and rides, even men. I mean, it's just amazing.
Those shoes incidentally required 4,000 stones each. Sandy uses so many Swarovski crystals that the company paid for a new fitting room to accommodate some of her larger-than-life creations.
Someone else is going to have to finish other parts of it, so it'll probably be like 4 or 5 days total.
The girls who glue the crystals to fabric, leather, or fur are Sandy's Blingettes, now characters in their own right.
My whole life I've loved glitter and bling.
With deadlines looming, the meticulous work isn't always easy.
Sometimes Sandy can be a little bit tough.
But sometimes there's more than just a dress at stake.
There's a woman with breast cancer who had a mastectomy who needed a dress that made her feel great, it made me feel so great that I could make her feel great.
A second Gypsy season is now in the works. If Bling and Arm reaches a wide audience, Sandy could star in a full season of episodes. And yet it was never her dream to be in front of the cameras at all.
For me, this is pretty odd. People call here all the time and want to come in here and take pictures with me and have my autograph. I don't want them to think I am a star. I'm not. I'm just Sandy from Waltham. I'm a regular person who just got lucky that someone found my talent. And I'm happy, and I love what I do, and I'm having a good time showing it off.
So please welcome one of the most innovative designers working today, Sandra Celli. Okay, we're all so thrilled to have you here. We're going to get right to the fashions. So,
yeah, we're going to start with the kids.
Okay.
Start with the kids.
The cue the music, please.
Everyone loves the kids.
We'll bring out our first model, Elena.
Oh,
The kids can't stop looking at their feet at the show.
Thank you, Elena. Can you wait? Thank everybody.
And then this, here comes Harper.
Honey.
Here comes Harper. Come on, Harper.
She's lovely. Thank you, Harper. Wave goodbye.
And this is Anara. Anara's from Stoke. She's a pro. She works for us all the time, right, Anara? Yes. Thank you. Anara, what are you, 7 or 8 now? 7. Anara's 7. She's tall like her mom.
Okay, we're going to pause a second now while our models get changed. And right now I wanted to ask Sandy, cut the music, honey. Thank you. So Sandy's name is synonymous with the word bling. So I want to ask her to define bling when it comes to her designs, so you know what we're talking about.
Well, honestly, bling to me, the whole room, all the women in here could have on a black dress. But if you put on a necklace or jewelry or something, it just changes the whole thing. Like people will call and say, well, she got the same dress as me. I said, well, change the accessories. It looks like a whole different thing. But bling, honestly, it makes people happy. I mean, you could buy a basic dress, and once you put on the jewelry and everything, of course, if it's real diamonds, it's even better. But, I mean, once you put on the jewelry and everything, and I wear almost, all just fun jewelry. I mean, it's not a big deal. It just makes everything. Because I'm really, honestly, pretty simple for somebody who does this all day. I don't know if I'm immune to it, but jewelry I own, and I just wear a lot of black and brown clothes and gray and whatever. But the jewelry makes it. Our navy, I have navy jewelry that's fabulous, but we love it. And then the rhinestone glasses is I think our biggest seller pretty much. We sell rhinestone glasses. We have 90 colors. People order them in navy and red and whatever, and I have a lot of them, well, partly because of the show too, they want me to wear the different colors, but yeah, I mean, it's a fun accessory.
Talk about the amount of work that goes into like a pair
Well,
of glasses.
glasses are tough, like, people that want a rhinestone, they don't understand, to do a pair of glasses, you need like 5 different size stones. Like, you can't just get one size stone and hope it's gonna fit, I mean, you've gotta fit it into crevices and whatever. So they'll buy like a size 12 stone as a base, but then they'll need 9s and 8s and 7s and 5s, and 5s are like the size of a pinhead or a needlehead, they're tiny. So they gotta be tucked into the areas that obviously the 12s don't fit, so.
I also wanted you to explain how you landed the job as the head designer for TLC, which ran for 6 years. It was incredibly popular. It's now, as I mentioned earlier, in reruns in over 90 countries, so it's huge.
Yeah, it's still playing. What, you know, honestly, it's really a funny thing. So I worked for the Gypsies for a long time, and I never used to tell people because my regular customers were bar mitzvah or dancers, or, you know, we did everything. We do weddings, whatever. And I didn't want to tell people I had gypsy customers. So they'd come in and see these crazy dresses, which are not here today because obviously they're huge and we could never remove them. But those dresses, I would just say they were pageants. You know, because if you tell people you work at Gypsies, then it becomes a 9-hour conversation on what a gypsy are, where do they live, and what do they do, and da-da-da-da. So for years I never said anything. So this show came out in Ireland called My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, not American, My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding. And the show was so hot in Ireland, in England, that, and the film team and the producers are from London, they decided they wanted to bring it to the USA. All my friends called me and said, you gotta tell them, da-da-da-da-da. I said, get out of here, I'm not doing TV, I'm busy, Anyway, one day my phone rings and this guy with a British accent says, would you like to do this show? And I thought it was a fluky scam. You know, I thought somebody was fooling with me because they knew they were telling me to do it. And I said, well, how did you find me? And he said, we Facebooked the Gypsies and they told me you were the biggest designer in the country that works for them. So I still thought it was a little crazy, but okay. He says, well, if I send a film team there on Wednesday from London and I fly them in and they interview you for 2 hours, we'd like you to try out for this show. Well, they flew in, I cleaned my office, put up flowers and I still thought to myself, maybe they're teasing me, but okay. So this film crew shows up, 3 people. For 2 hours they asked me gypsy funerals, gypsy weddings, gypsy birthday parties, and I knew everything. I know who's married to who, I know whose cousin is who, I've got 4,200 gypsies in my phone. Wow. So, I mean, I have the highest gig phone you can get because I hold the show in my phone. I have all the seasons in my phone. So anyway, they're like floored. And now they said to me, well, can you make big sticky outy kinds of dresses? I said, I make them, they're just not here because people buy them and I ship them and I get rid of them. I mean, they're not in my office, I can't fit that amount of big dresses in there. So they kept calling them sticky outy because they were British. I said, that's fine, whatever. And I really thought, we'll make a dress, it'll be over. Okay, we'll do this one show. They showed up and all of a sudden, on Monday, this film crew shows up. You know, we're like floored. I never did anything like this. And before you know it, they're calling me the next Wednesday, we have another film crew show, and the next Wednesday, and I'm like, oh my God, I've got customers, I got orders, so now we're trying to work and fit this show in at the same time. I come in at 4 o'clock in the morning for makeup, I got a battery pack on the back of my jeans, and I'm trying to, every time they would do an outtake or like talk to the gypsies, I'd run in the other room and say, is so-and-so's dress ready because she's picking it up on Thursday, and we were trying to do that and do this, and so, honestly, after 6.5 years of it, when COVID hit, a lot of shows died out, and they were also British. And so the film team would fly in here, so they, you know, it was with COVID, I mean, people weren't coming here, and so it all kind of, and I thought at a point, you know, too, I'm like, 3 years to 70, I'm kind of like, you know, I'm tired of this too, I've got a battery pack on 24 hours a day, this is a lot, and it kind of worked out. And it's actually, as of the last time I checked, it's about 103 countries, I think, or 101, yeah. But either way, it's still playing. It's funny because people just don't even mind watching the same one over and over. And they know every dress, they know more than we do. I swear, they'll ask me about a pink, and I'll say, who's Suzanne? Like, I don't even remember these people.
As a matter of fact, we are going to put on slides of two of the most popular dresses. One was Tatiana.
Yeah, Tatiana's
Slide
was
4.
big.
We have a few of the views. Talk a little bit about this dress.
This dress had a 50-foot train. We had to put it on a flatbed to get it to
We make it down the
Yeah, this was the fitting in the office when she flew in. The wedding was in St. Louis. That's my girls helping her down the street with the train.
We always take them out for a test walk.
Yeah, we take them out for a test walk. They call it the Gypsy Bridge down in Waltham. People come to my door from Italy, from Ireland, from Germany. They just ring the doorbell and they're like, we saw the Gypsy Bridge. I said, Waltham now even calls it the Gypsy Bridge. It's kind of crazy. Because they walk it. Yeah, this was the flatbed at the wedding. And we couldn't even decorate it because there was no room. I mean, by the time we put the dress on it, yeah, it was a 50-foot train, and she was a beautiful girl. It was a great dress.
We have one more as beautiful as the ball dog.
Yeah. It was so cold for this girl, and all she had was that little close day. They didn't plan on this. This is TV. And that poor girl was we were all freezing. I mean, it was cold, and she was on that flatbed for a while.
And we
to
have
film it.
three quick shots of Tudor, which was another popular one. It was a black wedding gown.
Yeah, Tudor wanted a gothic wedding gown. Her mother's still a customer of mine, and this was years ago. So she was really fun. She was kind of funky. Her mother was so not. Her mother wanted her in a white dress, and that was part of the story. But she got what she wanted. She loved it. She was happy. She really showed it off. That was fun to make.
And one other thing we're going to talk quickly about is there's going to be a giveaway of one of Sandra's shows. Dresses from the show was turned into a porcelain figurine. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Stafford in England, they're a porcelain company. Saw one of our dresses and loved it and turned it into a figurine. And they do sell it still in London. So we have one here to give away today.
That's the original dress.
Wow.
That's the original dress.
Oh my God.
It was a beautiful dress. And,
Wow.
yeah, they copied that. Royal Staffordshire.
All right, so we're getting ready for the next color you selected. Dresses.
Aqua. So the next group is Aqua.
So let's
And
get
we
that
have
started.
Christina.
And Mr. Music, please.
Okay, come on. Christina's 12.
And this is kind of a party
This is our
dress.
preteen. So we do a lot of bar mitzvah, we do a lot of that quinceanera and things like that too.
And for those of you that can't see the shoes.
Oh yeah, they all have rhinestone shoes. I do shoes for everything.
It's Elena. Elena?
Thank you, Christina. Now we have,
I have Elena.
now we have Harper. No, we have Harper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Harper, you're right. Sorry.
I love it.
Here we go.
This is Harper.
Beautiful.
This is Harper. Thank you, Harper. That's why it hits the lights and it goes crazy. All crystal.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you, honey. Here comes Una. Yeah, this is a high-low. You can see her cute little legs. Go ahead, Una. Show everybody the dress. So we get a lot of flower girl business. We make dresses in any color, whatever they want. We also get a lot of community advisors. The Greek people that we have, most Christmas Greeks, usually the kids are like 1.5, 2. So sometimes I'll cut up the mother's wedding dress, or I'll train other grandmothers or whatever. We do it a lot. And they like high-low because they're already walking and they won't trip. It's easier in the front. Here comes Christina. They still want full, but they want to be a little bit more sophisticated than your cute dress. It's so cute.
Okay, so now, while our models change, I wanted Sandy to talk about, you were hired by the New England Patriot cheerleaders to update their uniforms. So
Oh
talk a little
yeah,
about
this is
that.
so crazy too. This is just as crazy as the other one. I get this phone call from the New England Patriots cheerleading coach, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, right. I have friends that are a little crazy, so I'm thinking maybe. So she says to me, I want to update our uniforms, and I want you because you're from Boston, and we're a Boston team. And she said, I have to tell you, my neighbor told me about you and that you're on TV and you use rhinestones. She says, I hate television. I've never seen you on TV. I don't watch TV. She said, but they told me you're the best. I said, okay. She was really nice or whatever. So she came down. We hit it off great. We came up with this cool uniform. We even, the second season, we even did 2 tops, and 1 bottom, and then we did 2 bottoms and 1 top, so depending on the season, they could wear different, long sleeves, sleeveless, whatever. So we did that for a while, and then we even did the, this is the one that, and every single uniform on the wristbands and on the hip or whatever have the, the logo, and that logo takes a ton of stones. It has to be little tiny, tiny, tiny stones to fit it into the head. And we would do 3 on each uniform. Times like, 25 girls. I mean, it's a lot. And it would take forever to put the heads on. And they would do them all one by one by one by one. So, yeah, that was their long sleeve version when they had that at one point too.
Now, I also, we have photos of a terrific dress that you were asked to do, which
I love this dress.
if you look closely, you can probably see the detail work.
Yeah, this dress. So this little girl at the time was named Melania. So they wanted a White House dress. Well, at the time that we made this dress, this little girl is about 6 or 7 now. That's how old this dress is. We didn't have the machines we have now to print out the patterns and so they literally hand drew that onto the dress, the airplane, the logo, the White House, the whole thing. And they put every single stone in there, tiny, 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 to build that dress. With the sleeves are white mink and the hem is white mink, but the rest of that dress, that even the words, the stones are so the size of a pinhead. That was insane work. It went on for like 2.5, 3 weeks. The poor girl was just like fried from it. But we actually switched girls here and there. Like someone did the planes because they were getting crazy. It's so much work. But it really came out great. Do we have the bottom of the shoes?
Yes, we do. But I do.
Yeah, we put first lady on her feet. It was so cute. I mean, it was a cute idea because that's what they named her, but it was just such a cute little idea. but a lot of work.
Okay. Our next, we're back to Sandra's collection, and we're talking pink.
Yeah, we're talking pink. Here's Elena. Elena loves models. Thank you. And here comes Christina again. I love working with teenagers too. It's fun. I think you give their opinion, believe me. I'm hearing it if they don't like it. And here comes Harper. Harper! Harper, that looks beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Harper.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, gorgeous.
And here comes Hilda again. I love, oh, she's so adorable. I love the pink and mint. I love it.
Little porcelain girl.
Show them the back, honey. I love the pink and mint. It's so refreshing. A little spring for a change.
Designs are too good to be good.
Thank you, Una. So cute. Okay, here comes Anthony, my favorite customer who offered to do this for us today.
Men don't be dumb. Just a little bit. I wore this for my 70th birthday
And here comes Samantha. And Samantha is Inari's mom, and she is the producer-director at Massasoit Theater. And she was up for a director award, producer award, so we designed this for her. Yeah, the color is
Okay, so I'm gonna give them a little more time. We have a few more fashions to show you. But right now, I want to tell you about a few years ago, a publicist had met Sandy and asked her to write a book, which she did. It's called Bling, The Uncommon Crystal Couture of Sondercelli. So tell them what they'll find inside if they decide to.
Well, first of all, TC wrote the book. Not kidding.
I wasn't gonna say
Morning,
that.
noon, and night. But we hired photographers so that people could come in and show people how to rhinestone. So we had girls step by step by step teach people how to rhinestone. Easy projects, hard projects, but the back of the book has a portfolio of insane projects that are, you know, you really have to be a pro to do, but it's a great book. It's got all the gypsy dresses in it, how we made them, who produced them. We show photos of the girls making the dresses, sewing the dollar bills onto the money dress and things like that. So we made a dress out of candy. It was fabulous. We have all the photos in the book of them sewing the bubble gum through the middle of the dress. The problem with that dress was everybody was eating candy. I had bowls of candy all over the table so somebody could do the jelly bean shoes and somebody could, every 2 minutes somebody was snapping a bubble gum or, I said, guys, this candy's for the dress. It's not, everybody had bags of jelly beans and was chomping on, you know, sourdough. But it was cool. And so the book really came about because I come from a family with a small business. My mom's Yolanda, who was in Waltham for years. And I'm gonna cry. So I come from that, and it's a lot of work to build a business, a lot. I don't think I appreciated, my parents both built business. My father owned a contracting company, and I come from a family where we lived in an apartment with nothing. My sister and I lived in a little room. My parents had nothing. They worked 6 o'clock in the morning, till 10 and 11 at night. My father would run into my dance recitals at the end of the night. Somehow my mother made it to everything. And I come from that. And my parents, we didn't have a house till I was 15. And it was a little ranch house. And then they finally, over the years, they finally made more money and they built a big business. But my parents worked hard. And I come from that. And I don't think I appreciated it until I started in my own apartment in New York City. I lived there for 22 years. And I did everything at my kitchen table all by myself. And then I hired a girl, and then I hired 2 girls, and then I finally had to get a space because it was just boxes were all in my kitchen and my living room and whatever. And I lived in a little studio, but it was like a sunken living room, and there was literally boxes of fabrics and everything. And I think they wanted the story of a small business. You know, there's a dream in this country, and it can come true. It can definitely come true, but you have to want it. You have to be willing to work for it. You have to have it in your bones, in your blood, in your body. You have to, everything in your body. Like I've got girls that say to me, oh, I want to buy your business. Well, they can't even get to work by 10. They come in with a donut and coffee, then they want to leave at 5. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I was in Vegas. I had to go with my parents to a show for something, and we flew, the 3 of us, and literally TLC called me when I landed, and I turned around in the airport and went home. And never went and did what we were supposed to. They stayed. But I had to leave because they needed me for this outfit, for crazy Nellie from the Gypsy Sisters. But I had to go back. I mean, that's owning a business. I mean, it is what it is. I just said, somebody called me Christmas Eve, some gypsy was having like a nervous breakdown over some navy blue thing on her outfit. And I said, it is Christmas Eve, you know, get a life. You know, it's like I go, there are people dying in the world, there are people that have no food, there are people that are losing their houses, there are people that have one arm. I mean, you're worrying about navy blue. Get over it. And then I just hung up the phone. I mean, it's just, people, the priorities today for the younger crowd just does not see military and say thank you, or see a cop and say thank you, or appreciate older people, or, you know, and I see it even in my own office with the younger kids. And I say to them, come on, you know, down to earth. You want to do this stuff, you got to work hard. I mean, I had some kid come up to me that worked for me, one of the kids from the high school, and she said something to me like, oh, you have a designer bag or something. I said, let me tell you something, honey. I worked my rear end off for that, and I bought the basic one so I could have it for 20 years. I am not Rockefeller. And and every table in this chair and everything you're sitting in, I worked for and paid for. So they think too, because my parents were in business I remember saying to my mother at 20 and 21 when I was just starting out and broke, and I said, I don't know, I can't keep going. And she looked at me and she said, does anyone owe you any money? I said, yeah. She says, go collect it. And that's what made me strong, because I wasn't allowed to just take or do, So it's tough in business today, it is. And I'm dealing with gypsy people. So now we have this black and white collection that's new. And Anthony's got a new jacket. Here's Anthony in his newest jacket. Yeah, we don't really make them pretty much embellish them. We just don't have the staff to do it for them. We embellish pretty much. We get lots of people who are good.
Came out really good.
Yeah, now we know his middle name. So you know his initials.
What is my middle name?
Edward.
Edward.
And now here's Lenara. Wow. That's a fun dress. Thank you, Inara. You're the best. You're the best. She works for me once in a while. She gets paid. She knows how to rhinestone the mother's daughter. Here's Sam.
Delicate stuff.
And Sam works for us a couple days doing graphics and laying out, marching. She's unbelievable with graphics. Like if we have to do like the Eiffel Tower or something, Sam lays all that out for us. She's unbelievable. And here comes Fiona in a new dress that we just came out with. Another high low. The dogs are so cute.
Wow.
She's so adorable. Oh my God. All of them, every one of them.
Okay, we're going to pause a minute to take a walk down memory lane. First of all, I have to comment, you've never seen kids' clothing like this. I go into work every day and I see piles of material and stones and everywhere.
Oh,
and at the
wow.
end of the day, I'm looking like, how did she do that? It's amazing. It's really...
We have a great staff too. We have 13 girls now. We're all day stoning, cutting, sewing. And I would say Maria's 75. Mare is close to my age, almost 67. Jeanette worked till she was 92. She passed away a couple years ago. She cracked me up. We always knew we were going to run out of light bulbs because, when we were down to 12, I had to hear, we're running out of light bulbs. I just miss her to pieces. But yeah, we have 12 girls. sometimes 18 with Christmas. It gets really busy, but.
Oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So right now, we're going to pause a moment and take a walk down memory lane to the days when a Waltham-based fashion empire reigned supreme.
Yes.
Yolanda's, where lifestyles began, was the...
author, TV host, more.
I mean, she defines local
Turn up.
right, for the Boston area, at almost 90 years old now.
Okay, hold on one second. I just want to finish this, sorry. So Yolanda's, where beautiful lifestyles begin, was the place to go for unique wedding gowns and dazzling designer dresses. The incredible woman behind the success of that empire is my mother, Yolanda Salucci. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to run the video first.
Designer, entrepreneur, philanthropist, author, TV host, more.
Louder.
Right, for the Boston area, at almost 90 years.
Okay.
He's controlling the volume of the picture.
No.
There it is.
That's it. Just a little background.
Designer, an entrepreneur, philanthropist, author, TV host, more.
I mean, she defines local legend,
Yeah.
right, for the Boston area. At almost 90 years old now, Yolanda Salucci is doing more than most people do in a lifetime, and Brianna had the chance to catch up with her.
It happens here, Waltham. The famous Moody Street gets its namesake from Paul Moody. No word if he had an attitude, but he did invent the first power loom in America. Aerosmith practiced and recorded their 1976 album Rocks at a studio on Pond Street. It's also the hometown of another local celebrity, fashion designer Yolanda Salucci.
Waltham is a special place.
Most people know her for her iconic Waltham store, Yolanda's, where a health spa, beauty salon, dress boutique, and more were all under one roof. But Yolanda's love of fashion started much earlier as a teenager, when she couldn't afford a prom dress.
And my mom said, well, if it's too expensive for you, you're going to have to make it. And I went to the fabric store and I made myself a princess dress. And I won Queen of the Prom with my little homemade dress.
Yolanda says there were challenges along the way. As a young wife and mother, finances were tight, causing her extreme stress and hair loss.
I started just putting wigs on. And people would say, your hair looks so beautiful. You know, my mom needs a wig, or my sister's in a hospital with cancer. So that's when I started the charity work. And I would wear the wig to the hospital, and when I take it off to them, because they had lost their hair from cancer, they felt more comfortable with me.
And then those interactions sparked something in Yolanda, and giving back became a way of life. If you've seen a sparkly red Salvation Army kettle around the holidays, that's Yolanda. And she recently celebrated her 90th birthday by raising more than $90,000 for 5 local charities.
Wow.
And to give back, it makes me feel good. And that's how I get my happiness. Beyond Warwick, this was at Studio 54.
This is such a cool photo.
Yes.
Her philanthropy would open her up to a whole new world of celebrities. Even some WBZ celebs like Liz Walker, Bob Lobel, and check this out. That's former Channel 4 news anchor Mary Ellen Burns. Yolanda is also an author, writing a series of books about her late daughter Linda, who lost her battle with esophageal cancer in 2018. And she's currently hosting a Waltham Cable Access show. But if you ask Yolanda about her proudest accomplishment, she'll tell you it's not the celebrities she's met, it's her family.
Well, my family, more than anything. I think that watching them grow and be successful as they are.
And as her grandson Dimitri shared with us, they are just as impressed by her too.
It's inspiring, you know, it's 5 a.m. she'll be in a full, pantsuit ready to go.
Guys, Yolanda still works as a personal shopper as well, as if she's not doing enough. Guys, she was so incredible to meet and be around. She had some really funny stories going back to the wigs there. You know, she shared that people really didn't know what to do with her. She was kind of revolutionary for her time, right? Being a female entrepreneur in the 60s and 70s.
In the wig one.
Yes, and she said, I used to drop my kids off at school as a blonde and pick them up as a brunette. She was such a, she didn't care what anyone thought of her. She's so successful.
That's the best part. And for that era, she lived exactly the way she wanted to, and still does.
Yeah, I hope I look like that at 90.
Me too.
Seriously.
Brianna, thank you so much.
Please welcome the highly celebrated fashion icon and Sandra Celli's mom,
Jennifer Hudson.
the one and only Yolanda.
Thank you all for being here. I know it meant a lot to TC to have us here. TC and I go back a long way when I used to do TV, and she used to hire us to do shows, and we're still friends after all these years. Thank you all for coming, and hope you had a wonderful time. Oh, sure.
If anyone has any questions for either Sandra or Yolanda, you want to take a few right now?
How long does it take you to do some, like the gypsy dresses, or how much?
You know, honestly, when we do the show, and we have a big dress, we only have 3-4 days, not kidding. So what I usually do is if the dress is huge, I divide the skirt. So I give it to like 6 girls, everyone has like a pie piece. And they do all the parts, and then someone's connecting. And then someone's doing shoes, and someone's doing the bodice, and someone's doing the crown. You have to put like a team. And then even her dress, all these ruffles, it was a lot of work, so we'll get 2 girls to make ruffles and 1 girl to connect them. You know, you need to do a teamwork, because nobody could possibly, one person, make some of this kind of stuff.